Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different to what we've been doing for the last couple of episodes. We've had a really technical couple of episodes. We've been working on a big farm. Everything has been going very, very well, but I feel a little bit burnt out on the technical side of Minecraft. And today, considering that it's Valentine's Day when I'm actually uploading this and love is in the air, I thought we would do an episode all about breeding. Now, before you get weirded out and click away, we're going to be talking about animal breeding specifically. We've already done villager breeding in a previous episode, and there is actually an advancement. If we hit the L key on the keyboard, go to husbandry, and we try to find this one. Once you've got the parrots and the bats for breeding two animals together, you can unlock this kind of challenge or goal advancement 2x2 to breed all the animals. And as you can see, I've already done this with 4 sets of animals. Now, can you take a wild guess about which ones those are? Could they potentially be the ones I have in the barn over here? I would expect so. So the animals that I think I've already bred together have been cows, sheep, pigs, which I don't have here, but I did have over at the village site where we acquired a couple of our villagers, and chickens, because chickens can be very easily bred together with seeds. But I may as well go over each of these animals together, just in case anybody is unclear about how to breed these animals, and then we're going to go further afield. We're going to go on a bit of an adventure, and we're going to look for some of the animals that not only have we never bred before, but we actually haven't encountered them yet either. First, of course, I have to get my beauty sleep. So excuse me while I take a quick nap up in here, and then we will get to business. So, to start off with, we will need a few supplies. We will need some of the stuff from my crops chest here, which includes some do we not have any carrots in here? I guess I've probably been trading carrots with the villagers. That'd be why. So I'll get some wheat seeds from in here that we can use to breed up some chickens. We also need a few bits of wheat. And in fact, we will need a few hay bales because there is some stuff we can do with hay bales in short order. Actually, maybe we'll breed the pigs with potatoes or even beetroot. Beetroot are actually a valid means to breed pigs in the game. It's one of the many things that you can do with beetroot. But no, we have a bunch of carrots over here in this shulker box, and we even have a little bit more wheat in there, so we could probably do with breeding up some of the cows while we're over there as well. Now, taking a quick look around, I can already see a pig over there. Now, do we have pig number 2? Do we have a second pig? Pig 2, the sequel? Yes, we do. There are a few pigs up there on the mountain. Brilliant. Well, we will use pigs as our first example because we haven't actually bred any pigs on camera, I don't think. And as you can tell, if you're holding the food that the animal likes, they will typically start following you around. So breeding the animals in this episode is going to be nice and straightforward. So pigs can be bred with carrots, potatoes, beetroots, and I think at one point they could be bred with netherwort as well. Oh, I just realized that my particles are on minimal because I've been over at the Guardian farm, and we probably want to turn those particles on because once an animal is in the mood to breed, you will see hearts appear above their heads. So when you feed a pig a carrot, like so, they will... Oh, I just ate one of those as well. Apparently, I was pretty hungry too. But yeah, whenever you feed a pig a carrot, those love particles will start to appear, and that means that it has entered love mode, meaning that if it can find another animal of the same type in love mode nearby, they will try and breed, and they will produce these adorable little piglets. In the case of pigs, obviously. They'll breed some other stuff if you breed other animals. So now we can cross pigs off the list, and actually kind of confirmed that I had already crossed pigs off the list some time ago. We definitely bred a couple of pigs off camera at some point. Now, in terms of the other animals that we have around here, before we head back to the barn and breed some of the animals that I'm certain we have bred before, there are a few around here that could probably use our attention. Llamas. Now, llamas, much like horses, need to be tamed before you can breed them. And llamas will eat wheat, they will also eat hay bales, and they are tamed in the same way as horses. You have to right-click on them, they will occasionally throw you off, but sooner or later, those little heart particles will appear, and you have yourself a friend. Now, unlike horses, llamas cannot actually be ridden in the same way. You can't control them while you're riding them. So even when tamed, you need to lead them around using a leash. Now, if I grab this other llama from over here, the thing about llamas is they won't tend to follow you even if you've got some food that they like. But we'll give this one a few wheat as well and see if this one decides to like us after a couple of tries. I think we're okay. I haven't seen any heart particles yet, but the llama hasn't thrown us off yet either, so I think we should be all right. I think this one might actually be tamed. Yep, I think we're all good. I think we're all good. Now, llamas can be bred together with hay bales. Feed one llama a hay bale, feed the other llama a hay bale, and watch them weirdly phase into each other. There we go, and what you get is an adorable baby llama who looks a little bit top-heavy. But as with these llamas here, the baby llamas will follow you around if you have a big llama on a lead. In fact, you can have a bunch of llamas leashed together, and they will form a caravan, meaning that they will basically follow you in a line, even though there is nothing physically connecting them. We haven't actually done that in this series before, so let's quickly go and make a lead, and then I will show you guys this mechanic in action. I think I may even have a lead in one of these chests. Yeah, there we go. I'll bring one lead with us. I'm also going to bring a little bit of carpet, because I can show you some neat stuff that goes on with these llamas. Let's try a few different carpets. And do we have any chests made up in here? We have one chest. Fantastic. We'll bring that with us too. Because unlike saddling horses and equipping horse armor, the llamas in your caravan can actually equip carpets to them, like so. If we pop a carpet on this llama, you can see he gets a really neat little, almost Peruvian style like outfit here. He's got like a carpet draped over the back of him. He's got a few extra trappings. Likewise, this one over here, if we give this one a different color carpet, if we hop on here and apply a red carpet, there you go. Different designs for each of them. And some of these look very different. I think the green one has a creeper design on it, that kind of stuff. There's some really, really nice little designs here. Of course, the little llamas, since you can't ride them, don't have anything like that. But if we leash this llama up, you'll notice that the little llama starts to follow. And if we get anywhere near this llama, it's also going to join the caravan. There we go, it's racing to join it. Now, if we right-click this guy with a chest, is he going to load up? Yes, there we go. Fun things about llamas, they can actually have inventory. And the same is true, actually, of donkeys and mules. Donkeys you will find in the wild, much like horses, and mules can be bred from a horse and a donkey. They can be pack animals for you, meaning that if you right-click on them with a chest, they will actually get these little chests on the side there, and you can equip them with some stuff. So imagine you're leading a train of llamas with you. I think you can lead either 5 or 10. I forget exactly how many you can lead, but a train of llamas all carrying these chests for you, and you fill the chests up with shulker boxes. That is a portable inventory like no other. It is probably only safe to take them over land, because obviously when it comes to overseas travel, you would need to put them in a boat. But these llamas are pretty well equipped for a long journey once they have a chest, a carpet, and a lead available to them. Anyway, llama diversion over, because we've covered the breeding aspect, and that's what I wanted to do in this video. Next up, let's head back to the barn to breed together some of the domestic animals that we've already got here. Now, cows and sheep we should be fairly familiar with at this point. We covered them in episode 2, and we bred up these cows. These are still the original cows that I had from episode 2 in this pen. I mean, obviously there's a few more of them now, and I probably killed some of the ones that were actually the OG cows, but as you will know, breeding 2 cows together with some wheat introduces a baby cow into the mix, and the baby cows will grow up into adults, and then they all just start breeding with each other, and before you know it, you've got a massive herd of cows. Now, in there seems to be a sheep. I think he has wandered in there by mistake, but the sheep on the opposite side here are equally possible to be bred with each other, and obviously you can breed sheep that are dyed a different color with each other. Now, if we breed 2 sheep with compatible colors, like a white and a red, for example, there is a chance of them producing a pink sheep or a sheep of the colors of wool that they already possess. We have a pink sheep over here that has been bred out of a red and a white color. A lot of the time, if you just breed the 2 red sheep together, they'll just produce a red sheep. That's the kind of thing that you want to do if you want a large supply of one specific color of wool. But if you're just in it for getting the sheep, and you want to even breed some of these together to get colors that aren't normally as accessible to you, then you can breed together pink sheep, and you can breed together a red and a blue one to get a purple sheep, that kind of thing. So there is a little bit of an added dimension to the breeding mechanics of sheep, aside from just being able to produce babies. The next farmyard mob that we want to be on the lookout for is chickens, because chickens can be bred together with the seeds that I brought in my inventory. Is that... oh, that's a sheep over there. Find me some chickens. There's a couple up there. Fantastic. Yeah, we'll grab these guys together, and those can be bred together with seeds. It can be any type of seed, basically. You can have pumpkin seeds, melons, beetroot seeds, basically any type of seeds you've got around. You'll probably have the most of the wheat seeds, because they're the type of thing that you get tons of from replanting a wheat field. And there you go. Baby chickens can be born by breeding 2 chickens together with seeds. But remember, baby chickens can also be gotten from eggs as well, so you don't necessarily need to breed the animals together to get the babies. What you do need to breed the animals together for is this advancement. And had I not bred... oh, it's the llamas, of course, sorry. I thought I thought we'd added one to the count there, and I did not realize that it was the llamas that we had just added. But that makes sense. Haven't bred any llamas together before in this particular world. And before I forget, there is actually one more animal I've still got around the farmhouse that we can breed. However, we will need to go a little bit further afield before we can. We have in front of us a horse and a skeleton horse. Unfortunately, these two are not, biologically speaking, compatible. And when it comes to breeding horses, you do need two regular horses like these guys. Now, donkeys and mules, I think, also count as far as the breeding goes for the advancement. You can breed any type of horse, donkey, and you can't breed mules because they're sterile. But if you breed a horse and a donkey together, it still counts as getting the advancement because donkeys are classified as a very specific type of horse in the game's code, I guess. So we will need to go a little bit further afield to get ourselves another horse before we can breed these two together successfully. And so I think I'm going to grab a saddle from in here, or in here. There we go. We found one eventually. And maybe we'll bring some horse armor with us, because I don't often have enough excuses to bring horse armor with me, and I kind of want to bring one on this particular quest. Let's bring a diamond horse armor. We're bringing this one back to be a breeding animal. We may as well get it dressed up in its finery, in its best clothes. Now, considering that Founder's Forge is built in a plains biome, yeah, there we go. I thought I was expecting some more horses to be around here, and I've seen a few of them here and there on my travels, so thankfully we didn't have to go all that far. We will have to go a little bit further for some of our next animals on the list, but hey friend. It's like, what? Who is this? Who is this on my back all of a sudden? Are you going to be my friend or no? There we go. We got a friend. And this horse is going to be ridden back to the stable, and to breed two horses together, you actually need to get gold involved. That's right, they're a pricey beast. You need yourself a golden apple or a golden carrot for each animal, and I think golden carrots are probably going to be the better proposition there. They certainly cost a little bit less to make than golden apples. You only need to surround a carrot with some golden nuggets instead of surrounding an apple with some golden ingots. So yeah, I think we'll be using the carrots as breeding food for this one. Don't think I didn't see that zombie there, because I saw him. Get away from my farm. Get out of here. While we're at it, we may as well see if this horse is a good jumper. Decent. Can get on the roof of the stable. Fair enough. Let's introduce you to our horse friend here, who I don't think we ever gave a name to, did we? We'll just walk you in here all casual. There we go. Get acquainted with each other while I go and rustle up a pair of golden carrots. How about that? There we go. That was easy enough. Tuck the remaining gold nuggets back in there, and let's see if these two horses breed us a champion. The thing about horses is that when you breed two of them together, you will actually get a horse that is a combination of their two stats plus the stats of an additional hypothetical third horse thrown in there to balance things out a little bit. So sometimes if you breed two horses that are good at jumping together, you will get one that jumps really, really well. But occasionally, that third horse will throw something into the mix where it doesn't quite jump as high. It sort of averages out the stats between them. So while it is possible to breed a champion horse, it will take a lot of doing, mathematically speaking. But there we go. We have ourselves a lovely little white horse here in the stable, and we might need to expand the stable at some point, because things are getting real crowded in here now. Maybe one of you can move over into the next door stall and keep the skeleton horse company. Perhaps that'll do. Or perhaps we'll build another bigger stables once Founder's Forge is a little bit more established, because I imagine they'd be using some sort of horsepower over there. But that right there is another animal ticked off our advancement list. Very, very good. Now for the next one, I think we will need to go a lot further afield. So let's try and find that nether portal I set up to the Mushroom Island. Is it this one? I think it is. I recognize the mycelium on the corners, and it's right close by to our Guardian farm. So this should be the one that takes us to the Mushroom Island. Now, one thing we're here for is mushrooms, and thankfully, as always in Mushroom Islands, there are a lot of these around. Now, mushrooms, despite being quite physically similar to cows, do count as a separate animal, and they will breed together to produce another baby mushroom. He doesn't have some mushrooms on his back yet, but he'll grow into them. It'll be fine. And once again, we have ticked off another animal on our breeding list. Fantastic stuff. Yeah, mushrooms do kind of count as a separate thing to cows, even though they produce a lot of the same materials that you would get from cows, and I think they're frankly quite adorable, so they're worth breeding, especially if you want to bring them back to your base from the Mushroom Island and get yourself a ready supply of mushroom stew anytime you want it. There we go, that wasn't too bad. Now, for the next few, we probably have to go even further afield, and chances are we will need to scour the oceans here and there because we need to breed some turtles. Now, I've swung by the Guardian farm once again because there are turtles nearby, or at least I spotted one on the shore over here. I've just grabbed a couple of iron ingots out of my ender chest so I can make some shears. Because turtles like this one down here require a very different form of food to most other mobs, and that is that they need some seagrass, which I can trim from the ocean floor here. Now, you can't get seagrass just by punching it. You do need to have a set of shears, hence why I have made those. And turtle breeding mechanics are quite interesting and something we have not explored yet in the series before. I think it'd be fun to make ourselves a turtle farm one of these days, because when turtles breed together, they actually bury their eggs on the shore, and you get some baby turtles, which, when they hatch, drop an item called scoot. And if you get 5 scoots together, you can actually assemble them into a helmet and have a turtle shell helmet. Now, that, of course, relies on you being able to make a turtle breeding colony in the first place, and I don't see any other turtles around, so we might need to go on a bit of a mission here. Turns out we don't need to go that far after all. There is a little turtle island over here. Look at this. Look at this. And these guys have already got the scent of the seagrass and are making their way a little slowly towards me. Fantastic. Now, do you feel like breeding with your friend over here? I certainly hope so. So, as you can see, this one starts burying its eggs in the sand over here, and it looks like that breeding attempt may have failed. I don't see any eggs around. Does that mean we didn't get them? No, it looks like we got the advancement still. But yeah, depending on the environment, I think the turtle breeding attempts can occasionally fail. Let's see if we can breed these two together again. Okay, it looks like that one didn't breed successfully, but maybe this one will if we can get these two together. Or maybe the other turtle who is over here would like to get involved? I don't know. It's a tricky process with turtles. They're not always going to be willing to breed straight away, and they have a little bit of trouble getting back on land once they've entered the water. So, yeah, maybe we should try and get these two to mate nearby. There we go. Looks like we've got them interested in each other. Hopefully this will be a slightly more successful attempt. We got some XP from it, which certainly counts as a breed, but no eggs yet. Weird. Oh, no, it's laying one. It's laying one. Go on, give it a try. Give it your best shot. Yeah, no egg. Why no egg? How weird. Oh, this zombie could be a problem, though. Zombies and other mobs will actually trample turtle eggs. Oh, are they still trying? Maybe it takes them multiple attempts. I don't know. I haven't really done all that much of the turtle breeding. Ah, there it is. Oh, you beautiful, beautiful egg. Yes. Now, these guys, you'll actually find them laying them in, like, clusters. You can actually get up to 4 turtle eggs, I believe, in a cluster, much the same way as you get with sea pickles. So it does take them a while. That's very interesting. I'm learning on the job, by the way, here. I have not really done a great deal of this before. Now, once a turtle egg has been placed down, you can pick it up with a silk touch pickaxe, which might not be the most humane thing to do, but it might actually save it from disaster. Because, like I said, mobs can actually come over and trample the turtle eggs. If a hostile mob spawns over here, especially a zombie or a drowned, then they will get up on here and they will aim for the turtle eggs. In fact, some forms of drowned farm actually use turtle eggs as bait for the drowned. So there's a possibility, and there's an equal possibility that if you as a player walk on top of the turtle egg, then it can start to crack and break. So avoid stepping on the turtle eggs if at all possible if you want them to hatch. I rather feel like we should come back here at some point and see if we can get some more little baby turtles, because that would be a really great thing to do for the series, is to start a little turtle farm out here. But in the meantime, it looks like they are merrily burying some more eggs. Oh, yes, we got a nice little cluster of them there. Fantastic. Sorry. Oh, I won't disturb you. My bad. Didn't want to walk on those eggs by mistake. But yes, we will definitely be back here. Look, the drowned are coming out already. They clearly smell the eggs from a distance. Get back, you. Leave Turtle Island alone. But for now, with the turtles bred and that added to our list, we only have 3 animals left to go, and I know which ones those are. So we're going to head over to the Guardian farm to pick up some raw fish, and then head out to a jungle, because we are going to track down the ever-elusive cat. Thankfully, at the Guardian farm, we have a lot of raw cod now, because the drops have been coming in, and while I'm here, I may as well make a confession. Despite all of my bragging over the last 2 episodes about not dying, I was stood at this farm, just minding my own business, waiting for Guardians to pile up here so I could attack them with my sword and collect the drops, and they attacked me, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, I had my second death of the series to Guardians. I took a little bit of damage just from attacking them with my sword, with the thorns effect that they have, and then I panicked a little bit. I couldn't get away from their lasers in time. The regeneration beacon was not helping me as much as it should have. I didn't have a full bar of hunger, and unfortunately, I died my second death. And I really wish I'd got that on camera too, because it would have been the perfect antidote to all of my bragging from the last episode. So I promise never to brag in this series again if I can possibly help it. But yeah, I was a little bit humbled by that. But anyway, now that we've got our raw fish, I'm going to make my way over to the jungle biome that I found, which is on the way past the desert biome. So that's probably the closest nether portal that we've got. And we're going to try and find some ocelots that we can tame and turn them into cats. Now, anybody who has been playing on the Bedrock edition of the game recently, or is going to be playing in 1.14 when that comes out, or maybe even you've been playing some of the snapshots, will know that cats are actually changing fairly soon. Cats will be kind of generating around villages as stray cats, and you won't need to go out to a jungle to find ocelots and tame them. But as of 1.13 and earlier, you'll need to find an ocelot in a jungle in order to tame it into a cat, and then from there you'll need to breed the cats together to add them to your advancement. And that down there is an ocelot. Amazing that I've been able to find them so quickly, because they can only spawn on solid blocks on the jungle floor, and for the most part the jungle floor is taken up by leaves and stuff, so for the most part you won't find ocelots roaming all that freely until you start to clear out areas of the jungle floor. Remove some of that foliage. If you're having trouble finding yourself an ocelot, then that's really what you need to do. But that one over there is in a perfect position. Now, the problem with ocelots is that they frighten easily, and you cannot tame them all that quickly if you run up to them and try and stuff food in their faces, right? You will need to take a bit more of a subtle approach. So I'm going to try and land a little bit further away from this fella, and he's probably going to start running away as soon as he sees me, but hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit closer. We'll be able to coax it up to us and wait for it to approach us, and then we can feed it a fish and tame it and turn it into a cat. You can see it might have spotted us already, or it might just be naturally pathfinding its way around. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer. The trick with these is not to make any sudden moves, and that includes moving your head around. You shouldn't really whip your camera around too much if you are trying to tame an ocelot. Just head over nice and slowly and see if a fish will tempt them in your direction. I think the solid block that one may have spawned on may even have been one of the solid blocks of the trees around here, and it just managed to walk out of the leaves real quick. Yep, that one looks like it's running away, but I'll try and get up to around the level where it's going to be, and then hopefully we'll be able to convince it to run towards us a little bit here. And this is the point at which Minecraft becomes a nature documentary. We have to be very, very quiet so as not to disturb the ocelot in its natural habitat. It shows some curiosity at the signs of the fish in our hands, but it will be very careful about whether or not it wants to approach. Seriously, I've been in a staring contest with this ocelot for the last, minute or so. It is being really, really cautious. It's running again. It may be that it couldn't even pathfind to us from there. That might be a possibility. So I'll try and get a little bit closer. That's going to be easier now it's down on the jungle floor. But we should not run at it if possible, because it will get frightened away. Oh, there we go. Looks like we might have its attention. Now it should come towards us. It'll cock its head on one side. We look down very gently, and we right-click it with the fish, and try and feed it until it becomes a cat. There we go, and that took 8 fish, which is quite a lot, but there we go, we have ourselves a Siamese cat now. You'll notice that the skin completely changes, but that's only if you tame it from an ocelot. Now, in the new versions of cats, the new stray cats, they will pretty much emerge around villages in a variety of different colors, including one that's based on Good Times with Scars cat jelly, and cats can be tamed with raw fish and bred with raw fish as well. Now, the problem about breeding right now is that we need to find another one, and it was tricky enough getting that guy to run up to us, so it's going to be an interesting experience trying to find another ocelot in this entire jungle. And despite being independent animals, cats will actually follow you around if you get a little bit too far away from them. So that cat is going to teleport to me if I step a little bit further away. Yep, there we go, just sprung to our side here, and it's looking at me right now because I have fish in my hand. You can avoid them doing that if you right-click on them with an empty hand to tell them to sit down, and then they will stay there for basically the foreseeable future. And this is a useful thing that you can kind of do with cats a little bit later on. But for now, I think we need to bring this one with us because we need to find another cat for it to breed with. There we go, in a completely unrelated area. And I feel silly now for saying that they spawn on the forest floor because they do spawn on solid blocks elsewhere, and we found most of them up trees right now, but we're going to try and approach that ocelot over there. And hopefully this one doesn't run away a whole bunch because, yep, it looks like it's interested, but unfortunately it is right up there in the trees. And it's going to make a run for it. So we're going to have to try and hop over here without scaring it too much. Okay, and now we wait. Now we wait for it to get interested in the fish I'm holding in my hand. This is definitely a raw fish rather than the cooked fish, isn't it? Yes, there we go. There we go, my friend. Come on over. Come on over. Just make some slow movements. Okay, it looks like it's interested in the fish. Let's see if we get a cat. There we go. We have another Siamese. Okay, well, there are currently 3 colors of cat in the game, and we seem to have the 2 that are the same, but I'm sure we can get these 2 to be friendly. Now, let's bring these oak leaves out to get them together, and then we feed a fish to one and a fish to the other, and make sure that they are both standing up. Or at least one of them is standing up, and there we go. We get an adorable little cat of exactly the same color. Now, obviously, with different varieties of color, there's going to be a chance of it being one cat or the other, but aren't the kittens adorable? Just look at that little face. It's so cute. All right, well, now I will have to make a decision, because the problem with cats is that they won't teleport to you unless you are on the ground, and I tend to prefer flying around a lot to get long distances. The problem with this is that if I land a little bit further away, then they have to still be in loaded chunks for them to teleport to me, otherwise they'll be stranded out here. So I can either just have them sit out here and accept the fact that I won't be able to bring these cats home with me, or I'm going to have to fly out and then land every 16 chunks in order to make sure that they can catch up to me, and then it's going to be a little bit difficult to get them through the nether portal on the way home. I also don't have a huge amount of fireworks on me right now, which kind of means I'd prefer to be able to just fly up into the air and coast back to the desert temple where my portal is. Yeah, I think I might do that, but I promise I will come back for some cats later, because we will need them to take advantage of a mechanic whereby creepers are scared of cats. So we will need these guys if we want to make a gunpowder farm in future. And oh, I just fed that one a little fish, which means it'll grow up a little bit faster. Considering that they are tamed animals, though, at least in Java Edition, they will not despawn. So I'm going to take these coordinates. We will come back for the cats in future. But for now, I'm going to leave them hanging out here in the jungle trees, probably killing parrots and chickens to their heart's content. Before I go, though, let's quickly check. Yep, that's one added to the advancement list. Well, thankfully, the next 2 should be relatively straightforward to find. Oh, and that's something I didn't expect to happen. How had I not gone into a birch forest before, of all things? Well, there we go. 2 advancements for the price of 1. We have just got adventuring time, which is the first time I've ever done that. Discover every biome in the world. Wow. Wow, I did not expect the last one to be a birch forest. I mean, it makes sense. I'm not really a big fan of birch except for stripped birch as it is, but that was quite something. That took me completely by surprise. Well, I guess it's a good day when you get to have 2 advancements in one go. Thankfully, we were able to make it back to the desert temple with the rockets that I had, and not only that, but one of the other animals that we need to tame is going to be around here very close. There's one now, in fact, and we should... Yep, there are 2. Fantastic. So rabbits are another thing that you can tame using carrots, of course, but also dandelions and golden carrots if you have any of those to spare, which you might do once you've created a gold farm or something like that. And rabbits, much like other animals, will happily hop up to you once they realize that you have some food, which is probably the best way to tame and kill them if you want to. But in the case of these 2, it's just a matter of getting these 2 together, hopping together and getting that little bunny grown. Now, why are you heading off into the river? I have no idea. Anyway, that is another one added to our list. These ones are hopping after me. We'll probably do a rabbit farm of some kind in future, because rabbits can actually produce items like rabbit's feet, which are useful for potions of leaping, potions that give you jump boost. But for now, we're just going to tick that off our list of husbandry, and we only have 1 animal left. Now, in order to tick off the last animal on our list and complete our little Pokemon journey here, we're going to need a couple of things. We're going to need some bones, and we're going to need some either rotten flesh or some kind of meat. And I feel like, while the rotten flesh might do, I think we deserve to give this thing some kind of meat. We got some cooked pork chops in here, which sound like an excellent addition. Let's go and find a tiger, because our next task is to tame a wolf. This is a task a lot of people undertake in the very early stages of Minecraft, because tamed wolves can actually be kind of useful. They effectively become dogs, they get a collar on them, and they can kind of be your friend and follow you around. They will also defend you from mobs. If you get attacked by anything, even players actually, you should be able to get the dog to attack them in exchange. Obviously, dogs can take a little bit of damage through that, so you might not want to have them do that if you're worried about keeping the dog safe at all, but they will naturally go after skeletons. Wolves will naturally go after skeletons too, and if you can tame dogs and use them in a skeleton spawner, then you can actually collect experience passively that way. So that's one way that dogs can be useful from a technical perspective. But first, though, we have to find a wolf, and if you occasionally find wool and mutton lying on the ground, it's because a wolf nearby has killed a sheep. Where you find that, wolves are not usually far behind, but this flock of sheep seems to be relatively safe, so it's probably safe to assume that there aren't any wolves around here hunting them down. Let's see if we can get a little bit further afield and find ourselves a few wolves. There we go, here's some wolves in the wild, and we need to be very careful not to hit any of these because wolf packs can become vicious if you attack any of them, but as it is, they're neutral to us right now, and hopefully by feeding them a few bones, we should be able to tame them and turning them into dogs. There we go, we've got one dog, and the color automatically dyes red like so. Now let's get an open hand so we can unsit you. There you go, stand up for me, and then this one here. Yes, there we go. Just another bone does it. Fantastic. Now, these two, we can breed them together with basically any kind of raw or cooked meat. So in this case, I brought some pork chops. You'll need to make sure that their health is at full, and their health is indicated by how the angle of their tail is. If their tail is down and they've taken some damage, then that usually means you'll need to feed them a little bit to get them back up to full health. But with one pork chop for you and one pork chop for you, make sure they can stand so that they can run together and breed. And there we go, we have ourselves a challenge complete, and not only that, but we also have an adorable little puppy. Oh, hello, look at you. All right, folks, that is going to be it for this particularly lovely episode of the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you have learned a lot. I hope you've learned how to breed all the animals, and you probably already bred a few in your worlds by now, but don't forget to leave a like on this episode if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.